let's talk about another big plus for WWE. Let's talk about the big thing going on, and that's the WWE UFC merger that started last week, TKO. And obviously, this is going to be a huge thing. And the title of the episode this week is the top 3 things we want to see from the UFC WWE merger. AJ, I took the liberty of writing some stuff down. Would you like me to go first?
Absolutely.
I think that would make you got to do simple thing first. Maybe run a few commercials on each other's pay-per-views. Don't overdo it. UFC fans don't want to see a ton of WWE stuff. WWE fans don't want to see a ton of UFC.
Yeah, you don't want to oversaturate it.
Yeah, just put a quick little promo to fight a big pay-per-view. Maybe occasionally, maybe garner a big 5-minute segment or something, to profile somebody. Maybe get your audience used to somebody. That could be something you could do. A bigger thing that I think is very likely, the most likely on my list for number 2, is making a combined event. So they've talked about this, like they're coming to Australia. Maybe, obviously, I think that's already going to be on a Saturday, but let's say it wasn't. Let's say you were going to have that show on a Sunday. You could do a UFC pay-per-view on a Saturday. UFC's always done stuff on a Saturday. WWE could be back on a Sunday, and you could have a Friday night SmackDown. You could have 3 big events in Australia. You could do this in the UK, and that could be a way to really do some big synergy for these 2 companies.
Well, you could do the same thing with WrestleMania weekend. You could actually do a big event for WrestleMania weekend. Maybe have the Friday night, have a big pay-per-view for UFC in that same area. And then let's say you're in Vegas, for instance, I know we're in Philly this year coming up, but let's say they put a spectacle together in Vegas. They could always do a Friday night fight, or they could break it up even more. They could do Friday night is night 1 of WrestleMania, have a huge UFC pay-per-view on Saturday, and have the night 2 of WrestleMania on Sunday night, and sell a ticket where you can go to all 3 events and have an experience the whole weekend long.
Absolutely. And my final pick, I want to see this. I'm the only one talking about this, so it's probably not going to happen. But I want to see a special MMA fight. You don't have to drug test them. I want to see Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar all roided up fight each other in an MMA fight in the UFC. You can do something where you're in training camps, but you can run promos and you can run video packages on the WWE, which they do well, and it could be part of some storyline, but ultimately it leads into a real UFC fight, maybe for UFC 300.
Now, Dave, I know you're holding back. You actually eliminated one of the ones that you wanted to see. He was telling me before we went on the air that he wanted to see Dana White in a singlet, all baby oiled up. Yeah, but apparently, make his list for the show. It's fine. Yeah. Hey, we all have dream matches. It's fine.
It's an alternate list. It's an alternate on there. Do you have some stuff you'd like to see?
Yeah, I agree with you with the combo thing. I like to leave them more separate. To be honest with you, I'd be happy if they actually stayed away from each other. That's keep them separated because they are completely different things. I enjoy both. Right. However, I don't want one taking away from the other. And I think that could happen. I think something you could do is have UFC fighters actually come out to the events for WWE, have them in the audience, maybe have them come to the ring with somebody. Same thing for WWE. Have them walk the fighters to the ring, something like that. Maybe give them a quick promo for the fighter. But I don't want anything that crisscrosses them too much because I think you could take away from both sports. You could expose the UFC for not having enough entertainment, and you could expose the WWE for realism.